Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hauri Idwani, and here on my channel we talk about sustainable and mindful living. Today is going to be a bit of a different video. It's going to be more of an informal one. Here in Western Australia, we've recently had some changes to our lives. Last Friday, everything was normal. People were attending shows and going out to eat at restaurants. Wearing a mask wasn't even the norm here, and we were all living in our little protected bubble. Since then, we've been placed in a lockdown and the bushfires have set Perth skies aflame with ashes and smoke. To help everyone with the current situation, I thought it might be useful to talk about some tips I have on how to cope with lockdowns. As a result of growing up in Malaysia, this is the third pandemic I've had to face in my lifetime. So the ideas that I'm going to be sharing are tips that I know have worked best for me in the past, but also what has worked best for my friends and family. I hope that this video can be of some use to you and that you find some benefits and ideas within it. Tip number 1 is to set boundaries. Setting boundaries is essential to protecting your mental health. The mental toll of having to face a pandemic, from not being able to see your loved ones or engage in outdoor activities that bring you joy, can put a strain on you even when you're not actively thinking about it. And that's without the added stress of having to work from home. Working from home will look different for everyone. Some people are more productive in the morning. Some work best in the evening, such as myself. Some people have families that they need to manage or pets that they need to take care of. To set boundaries, it's important that you communicate with your colleagues the current situation that you're in order to best understand how you will be working and fitting within their own schedules. Once you've set up your working schedule, be sure to take 5-minute breaks every hour or so to stretch, walk around the house, and get some water. The most important thing about this tip is to make arrangements that will best serve your well-being. And this includes doing things such as not responding to work emails after your workday is done, or limiting your news consumption to just 10 to 15 minutes a day in order to avoid increasing unnecessary amounts of anxiety. Tip number 2 is to connect creatively with your loved ones. During lockdowns, connecting and speaking to your loved ones is essential to ensure that you feel grounded and less like you're going through this on your own. If you want to inject some fun into your interactions and put a positive spin on it, there are ways to do so. My sisters and friends are in Malaysia, and to stay connected with them, we often do Netflix party together. On a regular basis, we'll pick a movie or a show to watch and just hang out and laugh together. If you're not a movies person, you can also engage in an online games night. Setting up Jackbox TV to play with friends works great, as you can share your screen, and because it's all online, anyone from around the world can actually join in and have some fun. You can also write and send letters to your loved ones or even engage in a game together. Connecting with friends through online games helps to create a virtual space where you can explore places together or just hang out and be silly with one another. Think about what sort of activities you and your loved ones would enjoy and how best to enjoy them virtually. Tip number 3 is to consume content purposefully. Now, it can be easy at the end of the workday to want to just switch off and scroll on TikTok for 3 hours accidentally. You can sometimes end up feeling unproductive, like your time could have been spent better elsewhere. So instead, I would recommend that you put thought into your content consumption. Pick up that book that you always start reading but always end up stopping. Watch that movie that you've been meaning to watch. Just remember that enjoyment in itself is a purpose. And a thoughtful way of looking at this tip is that it's not the content that you can consume, it's the content that you choose to consume. Tip number 4 is to engage in positive productivity. Chances are there has always been a skill or an activity that you've always wanted to try out that you never get to do because you were always distracted in your day-to-day life. For some people, it's learning how to knit or crochet or do yoga. For me, for example, starting my YouTube channel was something that I've always wanted to do. And as a result of this pandemic and not being able to go back home to my home country, I just decided that after 2020, I wanted something that was positive and that was productive, that would bring me enjoyment. So I decided to sign up for Skillshare and learn how to edit videos on iMovie. And lo and behold, here is the product that is my YouTube channel. So my tip to you is to think about what you've always wanted to do, set out small actionable goals that you can tick off. Creating a sense of competency and achievement is crucial in a time that feels like our life is not progressing anywhere. The last tip that I have is to balance the scales by slowing down and being mindful. Now, it's so important during these tough times that you be gentle with yourself and with others. People are going to have different ways of coping, which may be very different from yours. So it's important that you listen to your needs as well as that of others. Something that I find helps me during these tough times is to keep a journal. Now, this was actually a gift from my close friend Ariel. It's called the 5-Minute Journal. And every morning I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. And at the end of the day, I write 3 things that went right during the day. Practicing this has put me in a place of positivity and gratitude for all the blessings I've been given. Throughout the day, it's important to remind yourself that you are doing the best that you can. So if you need that extra 5 minutes to yourself, take it. If you need to lie down and nap, go do that. Moving at a slower pace is still moving. Lest you forget, it was always the tortoise, not the hare, that won the race. I hope that this video gave you some ideas of what you can do to help you feel productive, creative, and connected with your loved ones. It's important to remember that just because it feels like the world is at a standstill, it doesn't mean that you have to be. I hope that this video will be useful to you, and I wish you all the best with everything that you're going through at the moment. Stay home and take care, and I'll be sure to speak to you in my next video. Bye, everyone.